till the lights go down, 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 till the lights go down, down, down. I've been feeling alright, I've been taking.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Krypto Vibes here, also known as Krypto, bringing you guys another video. And today, guys, we have our finals match in the Remnants, and we are going up against Ace of Games, which we did play in the regular season. Was definitely a little bit of a hacksy game in my favor, which ultimately gave me a pretty big win. But I don't know if it determined the outcome, but it definitely made the game a lot less fun to watch. So this time around, hopefully we can get a good game, because I know Ace is a really solid player, and it'll be fun to play him again. So yeah, hopping into the matchup, he's definitely got. Last time around we played him, he had a lot different team. He had like 5 different mons, I believe. He made like 5 transactions. My team's the exact same. So yeah, he has, instead of the Thunderous now, which I'm really glad he doesn't have, and then he dropped some other stuff which I really don't remember because it wasn't as big of a threat to my team as that Thunderous was. But now he has the team consisting of Zygarde 50%, Terrakion, Volcarona, Mega Gardevoir, Azelf, Bronzong, Savali, Emolga, Golbat, or Greninja, Golbat, and then Omastar, with his users being Zygarde, 50, Terrakion, and Volcarona. So those 3 on their own are very scary. And yeah, I'm looking at the matchup, and when I started prepping for this game, I realized that some kind of setup Terrakion is a pretty big threat to my team, so that was pretty much how I built my team around, trying to not let Terrakion sweep me, to whereas I do feel like I have a mon that can potentially deal with his special attackers pretty solidly if I can play it good. So yeah, as far as his team goes, a couple mons I really don't think will come that are just not very good against me are things like the Greninja. I think Greninja's matchup's pretty bad, honestly. I have things like the Mega Manectric, which offensively beats it, and then defensively I can check that thing for days with Tapu Fini, Alolan Muck, and then Shaman. So yeah, its matchup is pretty bad. So I don't really expect Greninja to come at all, unless it's like a Focus Sash Spike variant to lead off, but like that just lets Tapu Fini defog on it unless he's Gunk Shot. So it'd have to be a pretty specific set for Greninja just to be able to allow it to come, which I highly doubt it will. So that's something I kind of kept in mind when team building, as well as the Omastar. It didn't come last time we played, and I really don't think it'll come this time, because like if it comes, it will be the same. It will be the same type of build as the Greninja, just like a Spikes lead variant against me, because otherwise it's just not too good. And then overall, the rest of the team, he didn't bring Mega Gardevoir last time, but I feel like that's something he might bring this time, just depending on how it goes. The Bronzong I do think is okay against me. He has the triple psychic right there, which is pretty interesting. So I do have one mon in particular that can deal with that pretty well. But yeah, as you guys can see, my team is the first 2 bars right here, and then his team is these 2 bars, and then I have my team I've built up here. So I'll go ahead and hop into the team itself. As yeah, as you guys can see, we're leading off with Mega Manectric. I believe this was actually the first one I put on last time, so definitely pretty solid against him. If you look at the matchup overall, it was pretty good. It can Volt Switch out against anything pretty much, unless he's Savali ground, and then Zygarde is the only ground type otherwise. So yeah, that'd be the only thing I have to worry about. I have triple electric move with Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Hidden Power Ice, and Electro Ball. So Electro Ball is really cool. Basically, with my modest investment, max special attack, you can see right here that Electro Ball does more power the faster the user is than the target. So the idea right there with that is to be able to deal with a potential heat-proof Bronzong, which I think it could come, because obviously clicking Earthquake on a Bronzong that's heat-proof is still really hard to predict. Like, I have a feeling if he brings Bronzong, it'll be heat-proof, but I'm not going to, like, waste a turn and click Earthquake on it unless I have to in any scenario. So I'm kind of predicting heat-proof Bronzong, so I do have the Electro Ball on my Mega Manectric, and this can actually 2-shot a max Spadef, max HP sassy Bronzong guaranteed, which is pretty insane. The only reason we have HP Ice, well, only reason, we have it for Zygarde, which is a pretty big reason, and then he has an Emolga, which I can't touch at all unless I bring Hidden Power Ice, which if he's just max HP, then we can do about 70% too, or close to 70, which is pretty solid damage. And other than that, this mon can just chip things down, Volt Switch around. That rhymed. Not really, but yeah, let's Mega Manectric's job. And as you can see, we're actually running enough speed for his Azelf, but we're not running enough speed for his Greninja, because like I said, I really just don't see Greninja coming. Even if it does come, I'm not worried about outspeeding me. He'll never really stand with Greninja on me anyways, unless he's a Sash variant like I was talking about. But yeah, Mega Manectric's pretty solid overall. Just Volt Switches around, cripples, or weakens his team for some certain members on my team. I will say, other than a couple mons on this team, I did take a more of a defensive approach to this build than last time I played him. I think last time when I played him, I had a couple more just offensive win cons. This time around, I'm bringing a little bit more defense, just backbone. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, next mon we have is my Flying MZ Torn. I don't believe I brought Torn last time against him. That's mainly because he had a Thunderous, so that made it kind of hard. And he had something else that was really hard for it to do anything against. But anyways, Torn has a decent matchup here. As you can see, I kind of had a diverse move set. It's kind of here as a utility mon, but also has the Z Hurricane on deck. So U-turn, knockoff, Icy Wind, and Hurricane. U-turn's really nice because things like Bronzong might just want to switch into me. I can get momentum and send him Manectric, potentially just two-shot that. I also have other monsters to deal with Bronzong, obviously. Knockoff is there in case I don't feel like I'm in a position to predict. I can just knock off things like Bronzong's item. It's really solid for just knocking off other mon's items, to be honest. Looking at his matchup, I guess, if Tracheon, for example, will try to get Justified boost on me, I obviously can knock its item off, and if he has Choice Scarf, which would be the only way he can outspeed me, then I would knock his Choice Scarf off, and I could outspeed the following turn, and knock him out with the Z Hurricane, most likely, unless he was like max HP for some reason. Yeah, then we have the Icy Wind on deck, which is like not the biggest deal in the world to have, but I still think it's important for the Zygarde in case he tries to set up a Dragon Dance on me. I can get him to drop to minus or neutral speed again, and then I can outspeed him the following turn and Icy Wind again, which is pretty solid. And also the reason I have U-turn on here first, like I just thought of it first, was because my plan in this game is to lead with Mega Manectric and just Volt Switch out on what I expect to be the Azelf lead. If he doesn't have Azelf as his lead and Bronzong as his lead, I'm clicking Electro Ball right up because I would expect either Stealth Rocks or I guess he could go for a screen, which would kind of suck, but I would expect Stealth Rocks most likely. So I could click Electro Ball into another Electro Ball, or I could click Electro Ball into HPI's predicting like a Zygarde or something, or a Molga. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea right there. But like with Azelf lead, I can Volt Switch into U-turn and kill that automatically. Both these mons are speed creeping Azelf, as you can see, 363, 362, and Azelf's 361. So that's kind of the idea with that. He did bring against me last time a normal gym explosion Azelf, so I kind of expect that again, just because it can kind of not, it doesn't really let my certain mons on my team set up on it, which is kind of scary in case he just like turn one goes for it on my Mega Manectric Volt Switch out into Torn, because that would do a lot of damage. Obviously I would get the Intimidate off, so that's kind of nice, but yeah, that's kind of the idea with those two mons anyways. Next mon we have right here is my Tapu Fini with leftovers. We have the Moonblast, Calm Mind, Hydro Pump, and Knockoff. So you're gonna notice a trend. We have a couple of knockoff users on this team. We have 1, 2, and I believe we have one more coming up. So knockoff's pretty nice overall. In case he decides to bring the Golbat, which I just really want the Eviolite off of, allows my Tapu Fini to set up a lot easier. Knockoff's also very nice for things like the Bronzong, if it obviously tries to switch in on my Fini. It could have like some kind of resist berry, like a Colbur Berry for my Muck. If my Diggersby was to come and have Knockoff, you might have Colbur Berry for that, because that's really the only thing I can hit it with. Knockoff is nice for the it's kind of scary for Tracheon, but he wouldn't switch Tracheon on Fini, and it's kind of nice for Zygarde because he's like leftovers or something, like a bulky variant. But yeah, basically the idea with this mon is we can Calm Mind up and potentially deal with some of his special threats, which he does have quite a bit of. He has the Volcarona, which if I were to get a Calm Mind up before that thing gets in, obviously I can 1v1 that at that point. He wouldn't have any Quiver Dances up. The Mega Gardevoir, after I don't really expect him to bring Calm Mind Mega Gardevoir, but if he does, hopefully I can get a Calm Mind up before he does, because I can deal with that way. Calm Mind's also very nice for the Azelf if he's not normal Gym Explosion, although I do very much expect that. And then Calm Mind also helps me break down the Bronzong, in case that's one way I need to do it. As you can see, I have the knockoff right here to get rid of any leftovers or anything, so I could Calm Mind against that potentially, and just start firing off Hydro Pumps. I do have Hydro Pump over Surf just because that +1 gives me a lot better chance to knock out Volcarona if he's non-Bulk invested. And like, I guess it would make any sense for him not to go for Quiver as my click Hydro Pump, but I felt like it was a little bit nicer for the damage on certain mons. It gave me chances to two-shot things like max HP, so Volley. What other mons? I believe it let me OHKO the Terrakion with Moonblast. Wait, that's Hydro Pump. I wouldn't even, or Moonblast was a roll. Hydro Pump always killed, even though Surf was close, but like Hydro gave me the kill always, I'm pretty sure, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, that's the Fini. Knockoff is there just because like it lures in things like Bronzong and stuff, which I really do want to get rid of the items. And then also the EV spread on this, we have 48 speed EVs, which allows me to outspeed a Golbat, mid-speed Golbat, so it can't like Super Fang taunt me down. So it can't taunt me originally, so I get a Calm Mind up at least on it before he can taunt me. Also, I'm just pretty much max defense. It's my secondary response to Terrakion, just because that thing's a pretty big threat against me, and as well as it deals with Zygarde pretty nicely. So yeah, and last time against me, he brought a Zygarde set that was 1000 waves with Toxic to deal with my Shaman, which was really cool. So if he tries to do something similar like that, that's not going to really work because I don't have Shaman in this matchup, and I have two different responses. And obviously, Misty Terrain can go up, and he cannot Toxic me with Zygarde if I use this as my initial switch, which I really don't want to because Fini's more of a win con this game than one of my switch-ins, but it can play as a switch-in, I guess, with its leftovers and stuff. But next one, We have our Light Clay Mew right here. With Psychic, Toxic, Reflect, and Roost. Running 8 in speed EVs just in case his Zygarde tries to creep me. He's like a sub variant. I want to be able to outspeed that guaranteed. 60 in special attack, which is kind of weird. It's only for really one specific reason, and I didn't really need the extra bulk, so that's why I decided to do this. It's the 2-shot Golbat always if he's max defense for some reason. If he's just max defense with no Spadef, I can always 2-shot with that. And in case he tries Toxic on me or something, in case I'm like Toxic and he just wants to keep Roost stalling me, I guarantee 2-shot him at that point, and I will outspeed most likely. And then Reflect is really cool because of 2 mons being big threats. Zygarde is not necessarily a huge threat, but Terrakion is, so I want to have the Reflect on deck for that. It's really nice just because it doesn't allow like an SD Terrakion to sweep through my team. If I can get the Reflect up, of course, before he has +2 up in front of my face. Because my Mew is my main response to that thing. If he has like a Choice Scarf Terrakion, that makes it a lot easier on me. I don't have to use my offense to respond to it. I can just beat it with Fini Mew, as well as my last one you'll see here in a second. But yeah, that's the Mew Roost there for general recovery, and then just basically max defense. I thought about a Tanga Berry lure set with like Rock Slide or Stone Edge for the Volcarona, which was, yeah, one of my ideas. But overall, I feel like the set was better just because Terrakion was a big threat. But anyways, speaking of Volcarona, I needed something to check that, and we have our Assault Vested Alolan Muck right here with the Gunk Shot, Pursuit, Ice Punch, and Knockoff. Now, I debated for a while putting Rock Slide on this thing just because Rock Slide almost gave me a guaranteed knockout of Volcarona unless he was like Chardy, I believe, and like he had to be pretty bulky on top of that. No, he just had to be Chardy. But I ultimately decided to go with this moveset because had I gone Rock Slide, I would have had to take off something like, I think I would have had to take off something like Pursuit. And the only reason I would have taken off Pursuit is if he is the normal Gym Explosion Azelf like I kind of expect, because I can just get rid of my Muck immediately. And if he predicts me to go for Pursuit and just clicks the normal Gym Explosion, I die with it, and I cannot really afford that because my little Muck is pretty big for some of his special attackers this game. In case he decides to bring the Grin, then it's very nice for that. It's very nice for checking the Volcarona, it checks the Mega Gardevoir, it checks the Azelf if he's not the Z Explosion one, or the normal Gym Explosion one. So that's kind of why I really shouldn't have had Pursuit since I was expecting that so much. I should have had Rock Slide on this. But Gunk Shot, or another thing I noticed was Volt Switch into Gunk Shot always knocks out from Mega Metric into Wall Muck if he's not bulk invested. Also, Gunk Shot can 2-shot the Volcarona anyways, and he has to be at +3. And he has to fire off a Fire MZ to even knock me out, which is pretty wild. It has to be a Z Fire Blast at +3 to knock me out, which is pretty insane. Just shows how bulky this is. As you can see, we're pretty much max Spadef HP, or max Spadef AV, so pretty cool set. It is pretty much the less Terrakion coming every single time, I know that, so I can't just click knockoff with Terrakion in the back, like, just recklessly. So I can either click Gunk Shot on what's in front of me, try to snag the poison on Terrakion, and then switch out accordingly, or just try to make a certain double if I really expect Terrakion to come in. So yeah, that's a little Muck. Really nice defensively this game. Pretty cool. Last one we have is our Chople Berry Steelix. Now, the Steelix set is pretty fun because I've been running Steelix all season just as a stealth rocker with maybe 1-2 attacks, Toxic, Roar, just something really simple. But the set's pretty simple, but it's also got some cool stuff to it. Rocking the Chople Berry because, you know, Steelix for me, I always look for one of my Resist Berries. It's probably my favorite way to run Steelix in League. But anyways, we have Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Curse, and Ice Fang. So basically the idea of the Steelix is if we can get a Reflect up with our Mew, we get Steelix in against something like Zygarde or Terrakion, we easily just set up on that. And Earthquake and Ice Fang just really puts a dent on most of the team. Obviously, Ice Fang is there for the Zygarde. It hits the Emolga too if it decides to bring that, as well as the Golbat. So if I'm able to knock off the Golbat's Violite, I can Curse up on that very easily and then just Ice Fang it down and then kill it. And then Earthquake's obviously there for things like Omastar, which would have to be careful if it's like special. Obviously, Hydro Pump would do a ton if they'll knock me out. I don't really expect Omastar though, like I said. Don't really expect Grin. But Earthquake's there for Terrakion as well as it hits Volcarona. But the thing is, I probably should have considered Volcarona a little bit more after I set up because Volcarona's Fire Blast can actually just knock me out with this investment. I don't have Sturdy here, as you can see. I'm running Sheer Force just so Ice Fang does a little bit more damage. And I didn't feel like Sturdy was going to be ultimately too big of a deal anyways this game because I don't think I'm getting one shot by anything. But yeah, the reason we have 80 Spadef here is because after rocks we can take a +1 Focus Blast from like Calm Mind Mega Gardevoir. So in case we have like a +1, +2 boost up, or his Mega Gardevoir's weakened, I can Earthquake into that and do about 40%, which is, you know, nice if I have to take a Focus Blast. It's not really something I want to do, but it's just something I feel like it was necessary in case I had to. So that's the idea with the Steelix. kind of, obviously it's really bad against Bronzong, it's not too good against Azelf, but I feel like I can weaken those mons down and then like just put them in range of Steelix. Steelix isn't really a win con, it's just there to like break down certain things, I guess. But overall, I like the team pretty good. I'll go ahead and cut and get into the battle though. Alright guys, we're back with the game, and as you guys can see, we get into this matchup, and Ace decided to bring the Volcarona, Amolga, Mega Gardevoir, Azelf, Silvally, and the Terrakion, which is no surprise. He did not bring the Zygarde, which confused me a little bit. I thought that thing would definitely come, but I guess it kind of gets checked by some of my defense, but at the same time I was still very much expecting it, so a little bit of over prepping on my part, considering I do have Ice Fang on Steelix, which will come in handy against the Amolga, I guess, if I can set up, but other than that, not the best. But we do see the Volcarona, and it looks like that was the first one he actually chose to put on the team, so I'm kind of expecting that to definitely be Quiver Dance, which makes sense. He was able to weaken things down like my Lull and Muck in range, and then he could potentially be a Z move. He could also just be a bulkier variant. Looking at it, I looked at Amolga. I really didn't have any idea what I was going to do, so I looked at some of the moves and stuff we got before the game, or literally right as we got in the game, and then I saw that it got like support moves and stuff, like Thunder Wave obviously was there, got Tailwind, which is pretty cool. Just U-turn in general gets Roost, so it can reliably just recover up. But attacking wise, they're really weak and just doesn't have good moves, so I was a little scared to see what this thing was going to do, honestly. But it is here. Then we see the Mega Gardevoir, which he did not bring last time, so I need to, obviously I have two monsters in front of me that my luck needs to potentially check, so I gotta be careful about that. Then he's got the Azelf, which is one of his only two rockers this game, which I definitely expect to be his rocker, considering Terrakion is just a huge offensive threat against me, so Azelf's looking like his stealth rocker, and definitely could be the normal gym explosion set like I was talking about last time. That just deals with my low Muck potentially for sweet dropping it, so definitely scared about that. Then he's got Silvally there. I don't know if it shows what type it is right here at all, but I'll go ahead and just say it is Silvally normal. So I didn't really like. I prepped for Silvally. I didn't really like prep for a specific type. So I don't know. I guess I could have a little better on that, but it ends up being Silvally normal, which is like not like a bad thing, but it's not like good either because I don't have any ways to hit it super effectively. I don't think. Yeah. So I mean, I just have to chip it down over time. And then he's got the Terrakion, which is definitely going to be set up in my opinion. I don't know if it's between Rock Polish or SD. I don't know if it's between both. If it's like SD plus Rockium, that blows back my Mew, my main defensive response to it. So if it ever comes in, I feel like it's going to set up. I might have to pull it off as a switch into my Tornadus on the Swords Dance. I might have to pull a switch into something like my Steelix on a Rock Polish, just so that they can't sway my team. So yeah, the teams he brought is definitely like everything here I kind of expected outside of the Amolga. I really didn't prep it best for the thing, but we'll just go ahead and get into the game and see how it goes. Anyways, my designated lead always was Mega Manectric, as if he led with Azelf or Bronzong like I was talking about, was good for me, but he actually, I can went completely blank on this. I lead with my Mega Manectric right here, and he copies my Lightning Rod immediately, so kind of wish I didn't have the Lightning Rod obviously now, but he's going to copy that, so I can't even Volt Switch out. Hidden Power Ice is going to be jack crap for this thing, so I need to Hard Switch out immediately. And he makes a really solid play turn one right here. I guess it's pretty free, and he just goes right for the Will-O-Wisp, so that's huge because my Lone Muck is hindered pretty badly, and that's a problem if the Volcarona ever gets in set up and my Lone Muck's weakened because I can't do nearly as much damage to it. I don't have the Rock Slide at all, so I'm not doing big damage that way. Gunk Shot's my strongest attack against it, and he only does about 30% now if he's like non-bulk invested, so yeah, that was really like, it was just a really good bring on his part. I didn't consider Willow enough. I guess I could have pivoted out to my Mew to see what he went for, but ultimately just a really good prep on his part. So I'm going to double out right here, predicting him to go into his Terrakion, I think. Yeah, predicting him to go Terrakion right here on potential like just Gone Shot or knockoff for me, and he actually just stays in Quick Hyper Voice, which is fair because he can definitely live a hit for me if I decide to go for the like the Gunk Shot right there because I'm burnt obviously. And he's actually going to reveal the Trick Room, so I'm looking at his team like I don't really see what's going to abuse this that much. His whole team's pretty naturally fast unless he's like a really slow Silvally or something. No, obviously Mega Guard is slow right now, but I'm obviously slower. And this is a position where I believe I just clicked Gunk Shots, or I might have doubled out. Yeah, I doubled out again in the Steelix right here, predicting either, I think I predicted the Terrakion. Yeah, I think I did. I'm pretty sure I predicted Draco right there. That's kind of why it made sense. But he actually reveals to be Air Balloon, which is like annoying, but like at the same time, it's a sigh of relief because he's not Z. But being Balloon right here, I do actually want to break that immediately so I can Earthquake that later. So I'm just going to go for Ice Fang right here, as obviously I'll speed the Trick Room, and he's going to go right for the close combat. And I do have my Shoka, or my Chopper Berry, so I'm going to take absolutely nothing from that. And right here, I know he needs to switch out because he cannot take a... he can't take an Earthquake from me, especially with the minus defenses. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my rocks up right here as he brings in the Emolga, and I'm like, okay, this thing's probably on defog. Didn't even consider that as soon as he switched it in. I did consider Savali switching in and maybe going for defog, but I actually didn't even consider this being defog. So I am going to take offensive momentum right here, I believe. And actually, what do I do? I go for Curse right here, yeah. Because I try to set up on this thing and potentially take out the Ice Fang, as I kind of predicted him to go for defog right here. We're in an interesting spot. He just U-turns out right here and goes into the Volcarona. I had to click Earthquake right there. I guess that was a really nice play. But I do click the Stealth Rocks again, just because I was trying to keep him up against him. I knew the thing couldn't do much to me at all. Even if it was like HP Fire, that would have only been doing like 20. Which is obviously a decent chip, but at the same time, I didn't really think he'd have random HP Fire against my team. So he's revealed the Defog and the U-turn stuff on the Emolga, so definitely interesting to see what else his moves are going to be. And now Volcarona got in before Rock, so this is definitely scary, but I do have my low monk. Even though it's burnt, it's definitely still on play. It's going to go right for the Flamethrower, so no Fire Blast, but right here, I really didn't want to risk him Quiver Dancing, but it is very early in the game. I guess he didn't really have a reason to, so I just put Gunk Shot right here, and I would try to pretty much get a poison on something if I could. No poison off there, I get 34% off on this thing, but I'm going to pull the switch into my Mega Metric, trying to get off some momentum as it goes right for the default. So nice play on this part. And yeah, right here, I don't really consider this a misplay on my part. I guess looking back at it, it is a little bit of a misplay. Well, it's not a misplay, but it's like a... I misconcept what the Emolga set could be, because I have Hidden Power Ice. I can actually, if he's not max HP, max Spadef, like careful or something, he will just die to HP Ice right here. So I expect him to actually just predict that and go into something like Volcarona or Mega Gardevoir, and I click Volt Switch right here, which is going to be bad because I'm going to actually just give him his actually, no, I clicked Hidden Power Ice first, and he's going to live on 2%, which actually sucks really bad because had I knocked him out, that would have put him on their spot, because you're just going to see that this Emolga is going to be a pain against me as he goes for the Tailwind here. And I believe I go for the, yeah, wait, what did I go for here? I went for the Volt Switch that turn, yeah, because I really thought he'd keep this thing around because that defense. But at the same time, he was at 2%, so like, yeah, I guess I should have expected the Roost. By HP Ice, obviously it wouldn't have killed because he had the Tailwind up, so yeah, very, very nice prep on his part though. We've seen all four of his moves though now. He has the U-turn, Roost, U-turn, Roost, Tailwind, and U-turn, Roost, Tailwind, and crap, what was his other move? U-turn, Roost, Tailwind. What else did he go for? Oh, Defog, duh. And yeah, Defog, so make a little bit of misplay right there. I believe I stay and click HP Ice, which I don't really know why I did that this turn, but I get a crit. And then I decide, I think I switch out right here and go into, yeah, I saw his full move set, so I switched out the Feeny right here, thinking he probably Roost, because that's what he's going to go for. And I'm looking at his team, and I'm like, I kind of want to scout out to see what his Savali set's going to be, so I know that's probably going to be coming in, but I'm actually just going to go right for the Calm Mind right here. Perhaps I could have just went for the attack and tried to get my Feeny healthy after figuring out what this is. As you're going to see, this is all normal. We get a Calm Mind up, and he can Parting Shot here if he wants. He's definitely faster than me. If he has any offensive coverage moves, something like Thunderbolt's not really doing much to me at all. So I'm kind of interested to see what he's going to go for right here. I just click Hydro Pump because I have a good chance to two-shot him if he's just max HP. As he's just going to go right to Hydro Pump. So we are back to neutral, and he's going to send in the Azelf. Now this immediately is screaming to me the set I thought it would be, and that being the normal gym explosion, because first off, you're going to see he takes 44% from that, and he's definitely still in range to take another attack. So I do expect him to just go for the Stealth Rocks right here, because this is the only other Stealth Rock besides the Track Down. Like I said, I really don't see Track Down with a Stealth Rock on this team. So I do predict him to go for Stealth Rocks right here and just go for Hydro Pump just to get damage off again. Or I go for the Moonblast because it guarantees 2 shots. And what I do right here is, I debated for a while going into Steelix on the normal gym explosion, which was about 25% plus rocks. The reason I didn't do that is because Steelix obviously would have lived and I would have kept my Feeny at full health, or very close to full health because of rocks. I didn't want to let Volcarona in and just get free setup on my Steelix, but at the same time, I guess going Steelix and keeping my Feeny healthy might have been the better play, because after seeing that as a Emolga can't really hit me super effectively, his whole team doesn't really do the best against Feeny, so, and I already saw that was Air Balloon Track Down, so it's not a Z move to blow by me. So probably a little bit of misplay right here, as he actually does reveal the normal gym explosion like he had last game. And it's going to take me down to 34 as I go for the Calm Mind right there, predicting that. So I predicted him to go for the explosion right there and went for Calm Mind, yeah, but I probably should have just went Steelix looking back at it, because keep my Feeny healthy might have been more important throughout the longevity of the game. But yeah, good play on his part, going for that. He got his rocks too, so definitely a little bit annoying for me. But I'm looking at it, and I know he can't really revenge me with any one attack, so if anything, I'm going to be able to get some nice damage off on something. So he goes back to Savali, and he goes right for the double edge, and he actually crits me. So yeah, that sucks, because the roll on that was 23 to 27, and he gets a crit. I think the crit was like 39 to 47 actually, so he just barely got it. He just barely got it in right there, the crit. So that really sucked, because I definitely would have knocked him out right there, but Hydro Pump would have brought him down to under half, and that would have made things a lot easier for me, because obviously I would have been able to scout his set. I would have been able to potentially bring in something like Torn to revenge with Hurricane, if not Hurricane Z Hurricane. I could have brought in my Mute to potentially get up a Roost on it, take on the Terrakion better. And yeah, that damage just right there would have been really nice, but unfortunately we're not able to get it off. And yeah, that sucks, because I do think, I don't really, it's hard to say. I kind of consider it a misplay on my part to have stayed in there with Feeny on the explosion, but at the same time, he could have just did something else and like went for like a Calm Mind of his own. So I figured knocking him out was fine play, but as you can see, that crit right there into the explosion ends up mattering a little bit. Well, the crit itself is annoying, but just me staying on explosion kind of baffling my part. As right here, I'm gonna go into my Mega Man Electric, which I definitely should have clicked HPIs right here, because the Moba is probably most likely coming in, but I just clicked the Volt Switch right here, I think, thinking he might just stay in and then just put Parting Shot against me. But he actually does just go hard into his Emolga, and we're going to find out real quick that this Emolga, I should have realized by the damage earlier actually, that his Emolga can take attacks from my Mega Man very nicely. After seeing that Hidden Power Ice on him, the Hidden Power Ice crit after he roosted, oh my gosh, after he roosted, did absolutely nothing. So this thing is actually max HP, max to death, I believe, with like a Terraform Calm Nature. So yeah, this thing's extremely fat, and it's actually able to take 2 modest Hidden Power Ices from me. So even if I had made play and clicked Hidden Power Ice, with leftovers, he would have been able to just roost off the damage. So I would have had to bank off a crit or something. He could have got Tailwind up eventually and just outsped me, so it would have been tough. So that's Smolga definitely proving to be a noise to my team, as he's going to go for the U-turn right there, as I go for the Hidden Power Ice. And right here, I just stand and click Thunderbolt, because this Mega Guard, I'm figuring, is probably pretty bulky, considering it's like a Will-O-Wisp variant. With Trick Room, I'm considering it's probably a bulky variant with not much speed. So I just want to get damage off on it for my Torn. Right now, my Torn's looking like my best way of winning this game, just because it outspeeds everything. Because I don't think there's a Scarf on this team. Yeah, there's not a Scarf on this team. You figured that out by now. Unless that's Scarf Roll Corona, but I really don't think that is. So my main way of winning this game right now is Torn. So yeah, I'm just going to get damage off right there, sack my Mega Man off, which not the biggest deal in the world, but it's kind of annoying, I guess. Send in Monk right here, and I think I go right for the Gunk Shot, thinking he might just sack this off and then go hard Terrakion next, to potentially set up on me. But he's going to go hard Terrakion, which is fine, because this can definitely take a hit. And right here, I have a very hard play again, because with Terrakion, after seeing Air Balloon, I know he's not like Z, or I know he's not Z, and I know he's not Choice anyway, so I figured he had like 3 plays right here. Stone Edge was definitely a play I figured he might make, considering I might predict him to go right for the SD, and he might think that, and he might just go for the Stone Edge predicting my Torn. He could go for the Rock Polish predicting my Torn, which would be a pretty fair play, considering I can't do anything to him. And he could also go for the SD predicting my Mew, which I guess my Mew's not really switching considering Rocks are up, so but anyways, I'm going to make the switch to my Steelix right here, because after Rocks, I'm actually still out of range of a close combat from this thing. If he decides to Rock Polish up. If he SDs up, then I lose my Steelix, and then I have to go into Torn and Revenge. But I'm going to pull a switch into my Steelix right here, and he actually reveals the Rock Polish right here, so I get that play right. But I definitely should have predicted this Emolga right here, as I'm going to go right for the Earthquake. Looking at the damage calcs, he obviously knows that he cannot knock me out with close combat, and I could just knock him out with Earthquake right there. So, there was like only really one reason I went for Earthquake right there, is because I thought he might just literally sack his Terrakion off to let Volcarona set up. Because my Muck is extremely low at this point and burnt. So I thought that might have been his play. So I didn't really want to risk doubling out on the Terrakion. But at the same time, him going into Amolga was pretty risk-free because it forces me to take more rocks damage with certain mons, and then just overall this thing can get a tailwind again for him. So this is getting pretty frustrating. This Amolga is. He's going to click U-turn right here. I think I predict this to click Earthquake. Yeah, I do predict that and click Earthquake, but that does absolutely nothing. That is 27% of his Volcrona. So he's like a very fat variant. So I'm pretty impressed with some of the sets he brought. Normal Gym Explosion, Azoth made a lot of sense. I still should have made the play to my Steelix on that. The Fat Gardevoir with Will-O-Wisp was a really solid play on my obvious Monk, which I actually didn't bring last time, so very good on his part. And then the Amolga just proving to be super annoying, so he's playing very solid, and he's brought a very good team. And I'm going to make the switch out here into my Muck because I have a chance to take a hit right here from +1 as I look at it. And after burn, I didn't realize I would be this low actually, so a bit of a misplay on my part because this roll right here is like 22 to 29, and he does knock me off the Flamethrower. And at this point, I have to send in Torn. It's looking pretty grim. But at this point, I knew he was really bulky, so I didn't think he had any special attack investment, or if he did, very little. So I actually had a chance to live a Flamethrower in, which with my little bit of bulk. So I thought he might actually just go for the Flamethrower, I might actually live it, and I could go for the Z Hurricane and knock him out. But he also makes a very nice play right here. I guess scouting for it, and I'm going to go for the Z Hurricane on this Amolga. Just look at this thing. This thing eats it. Only does 46%. I understand it's resisted, but Amolga's just proven to be super annoying now. I go for the knockoff right there instead of the Icy Wind, even though Icy Wind wasn't going to kill. Just because... Wait, why did I do that? Yeah, I want to get rid of the leftovers overall. But he's going to set the Tailwind right here, and I believe I clicked the Hurricane, yeah, because I didn't want to knock him out. And basically, with the Tailwind up, he can just keep roost-stalling my moves, and I can't two-shot him with any of my moves at all. So, and I can't really switch out either because he gets to just click U-turn and go into Volcarona on either my Mew or Steelix, considering how bulky we just saw that thing was, or he could even sack him on to get in his Volcarona. So my best play at this point is pretty much keeping my Torn in and not letting the Volcarona set up is my best shot at winning this game. So I think I start going for Icy Wind here on his roof. Yeah, I go for Icy Wind here. It's going to lower speed, which makes it a little bit more annoying because he can actually get slow U-turns off on me. Which he's going to go for the Tailwind first, I think, which he goes for the Roost, keeps himself healthy. And right here, I think I go for knockoff, and he's going to go for the Tailwind. So he could have slow U-turned out, I guess, into something like the Gardevoir Terrakion after seeing that I blew my NZ move, but he goes for Guard right here. And me just forgetting Tailwind was up, yeah, I'll back up one more turn. As he's going, I click Hurricane right there, trying to get the Confusion, basically trying to get Confusion hacks to the point. He's going to get the slow U-turn off and get into his Gardevoir now. I really completely just blanked on the Tailwind being up, to be completely honest. I let my Torn die, but at the same time, I would not have had another play. I could have went Steelix, I guess, and then banked off him not having Focus Blast, because he's revealed Will-O-Wisp, Trick Room, and Hyper Voice so far, so I thought his last move would either be Focus Blast or Wish. So, yeah. I sacked Torn right there, which pretty much is game because Volcarona can beat the remaining two of my mons. Just because I forgot Tailwind was up. Even with Tailwind not up, I still think Torn... I don't think I could have won anyways. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. We actually end up losing in the finals this time around. Pretty big loss, 5-0, so... but yeah, I'm actually not too mad about this game. I actually had a pretty good time. Ace put together a really solid team. The Amolga overall, I just completely looked over that thing. So next time next time if I'm able to get to the finals map again, I will make sure to prep for literally everything, because Amolga decided to screw me over this time. The bulky Volcarona was a very solid bring in this part after just chipping down Muck. Things like Gardevoir really weakened Muck for the Volcarona, so that was able to do a good work for him, and I think he just executed the game plan really nicely. But like I said, I had a fun time in this game. It was actually a long game, or a longer game for me, 41 turns. I actually enjoy the longer ones. So yeah, I can't even be mad. And once again, GG to Ace for this. Congrats to him on winning. And yeah, guys, that's basically it with the Remnants, as we'll be going next, or we're still in the Crash, and we have our first week of the playoffs, I believe. We're in the quarterfinals, I think, and we're playing Tristan, I think. So that'll actually probably be the next video that goes up. And then as well as our EBT season, I'm going to record that too. And yeah, that'll be tough. We're in the top division, so we get to play a lot of cool good players and stuff like that. And I'll of course upload the draft analysis and whatnot. But yeah, last thoughts on the team overall, the team review for this team. I personally, you guys probably think I'm just saying this because I'm salty, but I actually really do not like this team. I've not liked this team the whole season. I'm really surprised I didn't make any transactions to it. My Remnants team, that is. Like, I enjoyed some of the mons individually, but I really just was not a fan of my team overall. My only two Stealth Rockers were Mew and Steelix. And I hated running Stealth Rocks and Mew, so I basically was forced to run, if I wanted to run Rocks, I had to run Steelix every week. And Steelix just doesn't have a good matchup every time. Like this game right here, I wanted Stealth Rocks, of course, for the Volcarona, but there was things that pressured Steelix, like I had to run Chopples just for the Brachion. The Gardevoir can just wear me down, and the Volcarona is another thing that just sets up on the Steelix, so yeah, I mean, I'm just not a very good drafter, I guess, and it kind of showed in this season, but I still feel like I still had fun this season, obviously. And like I said, I like the mons individually. I really enjoyed Torn, obviously. Mega Manectric, I'm never dropping again. It didn't get a single kill this season. It's a good fast mon, but like in League, in my opinion at least, it's way too like one-dimensional, and like it's good at what it does, but like I'm not a fan of it. I enjoyed Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is very good. I enjoyed you. You put on a couple good sweeps this season. Alolan Muck was a cool mon. I enjoyed the Figgy recycled berries sets and whatnot with Curse and whatnot. Although it didn't get to come to too many games, I enjoyed that set. And then Steelix is a pretty good low tier mon. So, and then as far as the rest of the team, Shaman, crap, hate to think, probably because of the team I put it on. Frostlass, not a fan of. Diggersby, I love Diggersby now. Diggersby's a dope mon for sure. It is nice to have double ground with Diggersby because it's not exactly the greatest ground response in games. As far as the rest of my team, I had the... What else did I have? I'll actually pull it up real quick. The rest of my team, I have the Charizard. Charizard was really cool for a tier 5B, which is really cheap, but I probably would not pick regular Charizard ever again. Hariyama, not a fan of, really wasn't, but yeah, that's the rest of the team anyways. But anyways, that's basically it, guys. If you enjoyed this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if new. Really would appreciate it, guys, and we'll be back for more content later. Peace.